So John M. Chu, director of Wicked, he's very busy. He's got like two other musicals coming up, and also he's directing the Britney Spears biopic. So it makes me wonder when he's gonna get around to shooting Crazy Rich Asians 2. It was actually supposedly scheduled for January next year, so like in a month, but the shoot has been postponed. Crazy Rich Asians was, in my opinion, the most recent example of Singapore being seen on a global stage. Like, sure, like a lot of people got to know Singapore from Crazy Rich Asians. Like, oh my god, you're from Singapore. Does that mean you're a Crazy Rich Asian? Like, I had $1 for every time I go through customs and somebody tells me that because they see my Singaporean passport. I will have enough to buy a meal. There's a quote Ali Wong in one of her specials where she's like, "Oh, me and my husband were one half fancy Asian, i.e., like East Asians, like South Korea, Japanese, Chinese, fancy Asians, and one half jungle Asians, like Southeast Asians, like the Filipinos, the Vietnamese. Those are like her ex-husband. Whoops, ex-husband is Filipino, while half Filipino, while she's half Vietnamese. So jungle Asians. Whereas Singapore is technically jungle Asian because we're Southeast Asian, but appears fancy because I mean, look at us. But we're definitely known to be a lot more metropolitan, and that is further cemented by our portrayal in Crazy Rich Asians. And like, it's kind of funny how deep an impression that has made because when we walk past chimes in Singapore, like people still go like, "Oh my god, was that the church that they shot the wedding scene in Crazy Rich Asians?" And I'd be like, "Yes, it's that scene. Yes, it's that church." So like that's kind of what we're still known for. It's not even that recent a representation because it was like what 2017, 2019. It was at least a good 5 years ago that we have seen Singapore on global screens that way. But I would take that over what I think was the previous representation of Singapore on a global scene, which is Chow Yun Fat saying, "Welcome to Singapore" in Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, if you want to complain about accuracy, that is definitely not updated and not accurate at all. Chow Yun Fat isn't even Singaporean. At least in Crazy Rich Asian, they casted actual Singaporeans in the movie. Like, there's actual representation. Like, you can look at the screen and be like, yes, that person's a Singaporean, that person's a Singaporean, that person's a Singaporean. This is what Singaporeans kind of look like. This is what our accent kind of sounds like. Go us. That is not to say that there is absolutely no chance for you to see what Singapore looks like on an international platform or stage. You can go to Netflix and look up Singaporean films. You can watch the F1 Grand Prix when it rolls around every year. There are obviously opportunities. I think Crazy Rich Asian is just the biggest one that we have seen so far. I look forward to seeing what Crazy Rich Asians 2 will show. And for now, that's all that I have. Follow for more and see you at the Republic.